April 2nd of 2009, 1,052 students at Rutgers University set a new world record for the most people dressed like Waldo. My name is Felix Jung. I run a website called avoision.com, and my topic for this evening is repetition and variation. I started music at a pretty early age. This is Dr. Shinichi Suzuki, the guy responsible for an approach to music, learning music called the Suzuki Method. Because my violin recitals were on Saturday mornings, he's also the guy responsible for me missing a lot of cartoons, but we're going to glide past that. The Suzuki approach has a lot to do with repetition, specifically memorization, where a student can't progress until the next song until they memorize the current one they're working on. This is Song 1, Book 1. It's Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. You can see there's a couple different variations presented here. The variations are meant to introduce a student to things like bowing techniques, playing syncopation, playing double time. My violin teacher, Miss Alberta Denk, used to have recitals for all the students, and she would get an auditorium together, and all the kids would play for their parents. And every song that was played, whether it was Book 1, Book 2, or Book 8 or 9, everything was memorized. There was no sheet music, there was no music stands, there was no cheating. Because of the repetition and because of the memorization and all the recitals, to this day I have probably 5 or 6 books worth of songs still stored in my head. In high school, I joined show choir. Let's not linger too long on the glasses or the hair or the jazz hands. I wanted to share with you a song that I really love, though, from choir called Sing Dem Herren. It was written by Michael Pretorius in the late 1500s. I'm going to sing a little bit for you. Sing dem Herren, Alleluia, Alleluia, Alle lieben ihn, Lobe seinen Amen. Now, I have no idea what that means, but I sang it a lot in high school and ended up memorizing the words. And I actually love the song. I ended up many years later working with a program called Flash and created a visualization of the song. Sing Dem Herren is actually a round, and what that means is it's the same musical phrase repeated over and over again, but the slight variation is in the start for each section. What you're about to hear is a portion of that visualization. It's 4 voices, all mine. Again, it's the same musical phrase repeated, but the start is a little bit different each time. Sing dem Herren, Halleluja, 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 This is my friend Dan Frick. He is a musician, and he wrote a song that I love called Astronaut. There's this thing I have when I like a song, I will play it into the ground, like over and over again for like 2 weeks plus. I was listening to it at work, at home, on my iPod, the keywords and tags, the words that people would use to describe their photographs that they upload to Flickr. And so what would happen is as the song would play along, let's say a word would come up like the word sun or the word together, I'd have Flickr go out and randomly select an image that matched that and have it appear in sync with the song. The really great thing that I love about this particular project is the uniqueness of the views. You can hit refresh over and over again, and it's the same song, the same lyrics, the same words repeating every time, but the difference is the collection of photographs that it draws. To me, it's a little bit like being able to view into 100 windows into the world all at once, and if you refresh again, it's a whole different set. The final project I'll mention is a collaborative project called URIM. This was for a gallery exhibit. And my part of it was to sort of set up a little photo area, and what we did was we had stickers made with the word I am on it and a little bit of a blank space. We had a couple pens out, and we invited people to participate with this. My job was to sort of, I thought I was going to be shooting photographs and sort of doing this like mugshot thing where people would stare at the camera. The repetition, of course, is the sticker itself in the phrase I am. But the part that interested me was the variations that would happen, what people would choose to fill in, what they would say about themselves, what they might reveal about themselves, but also the people themselves would all be different. Would they be smiling? Would they be looking at the camera? Would they be looking away? A couple examples I wanted to share. The guy on the right coming up here, he's got 2 stickers. The first is, I'm about to make a number of important decisions, and also I'm pretty nervous. The guy on the left, this cracks me up. His sticker is, I'm the only black guy in this room. Well, among the variations that happened, there were several that were actually pretty surprising to me. There was one guy who turned his back to the camera and ended up just putting a sticker on his back. And his line is from actually the movie Heathers, whereas he had I am alone, scribbled it out, utterly alone. And a woman insisted that I not take a photograph of her, but actually photograph her foot instead. And her sticker reads, I am deformed. And I thought that was an incredibly brave thing, and every time I see this photo, it still takes my breath away. I see repetition and variation in a lot of places. I think that it's responsible for all movie sequels. If we like a certain character or actor, we want to see them over and over again in different situations and different contexts. I think a similar thing is happening with things online. For example, internet memes and certain sites and blogs where it's the same subject matter repeated over and over again with different takes. Some examples include a great site called Hot Chicks with Douchebags. There's a meme that's called Fail, where it's a photograph with the word fail just slapped on it. There is a blog dedicated to nothing more than portraits of people with laser backgrounds. And finally, there's a blog called This Is Why You're Fat, and I believe that's a large hamburger with 2 meat pizzas as buns. I'll close tonight with one final example, and I'll cite tonight as the example. The repetition is actually here. We've got 11 versions of it, where it's the same thing, 20 slides, 20 seconds each, but you have different presenters, different subject matter, different slides and different delivery styles. For my part, I hope that you enjoyed my particular variation on this theme, and at the risk of repeating myself, my name is Felix Jung. I run a website called thevoisin.com. I invite you to stop by. Thanks for your time.